kudos to all of them. Our community is safer this morning with this individual in custody where he belongs. Throughout the standoff, particularly as we were able to get a little closer to him, our deputies used multiple less lethal tactics to try to encourage him to surrender. As I said, he was hunkered down in the woods, and that made it difficult, but at a point in the closing hours, we were able to establish some communication with him. As morning approached, and at 5:43, members of our team were able to bring him safely into custody. No injuries to the suspect, deputies or other officers, and his sheriff. That's a blessing, and I'm very pleased. Or any injuries or to any members of our Harford County community. The suspect was transported, was looked at medically by an ambulance on the scene, and has been transported to be observed, but has sustained no injuries as a result of his arrest. Local charges are being discussed, but right now, when he finishes his medical review, it's my understanding that Baltimore County Police will be taking custody of him. Obviously, they have much more serious charges than we have. The area around Fallston Mall, where this incident occurred, is going to remain with a heavy police presence for the immediate future. As I said at the earlier press conference, it was my understanding at the time that when he exited the vehicle, we believe he had a long gun with him, that he left a rifle and a pistol, a handgun behind. I've been corrected on that there was no handgun left behind, but there was a rifle left behind. When he was arrested, he has ammunition on his person, but he did not have a rifle on his person. So we are obviously looking through the area to see if indeed there was one, as was reported, but that could have been left there in the woods somewhere. Again, before I take any questions, I want to thank our federal, state, and local partners who worked, as we always do in this profession, so well hand in hand to bring what could be a whole different outcome to this situation. I certainly think the suspect took actions and was intent on going out a different way or having this conclude a different way. I'm thankful, the allied agencies are thankful, and I think our community is thankful that he was peacefully as peacefully as possible brought into custody. Again, I want to offer on behalf of the Harford County Sheriff's Office, our thoughts and prayers are with the two brother officers in Baltimore County who continue to recover, and we're praying for a full and complete recovery. I said at the earlier press conference, today's February 10th, a date that holds a significant importance to the men and women of the Harford County Sheriff's Office. Today, just minutes ago, our flag was raised over the boulevard down in Abingdon over the loss of our deputies 7 years ago, and I'm thankful, although I don't want to see any officers wounded, I'm thankful that we're not standing with our brothers from Baltimore County. It's something so tragic as losing two police officers. So we're hopeful. Our thoughts and prayers are with those officers and their families. With that, I'll be happy to take any questions and do my best. And again, we're early on, so some things may not be 100%.
That vehicle that we know that he took from Baltimore County and drove here to Harford County, that was a police vehicle?
It is my understanding that it was a Baltimore County police vehicle.
The suspect surrendered himself?
He did not. He did not. So we employed several less lethal devices to try to bring him into custody, and it eventually culminated in our personnel going hands-on with him and physically, after some resistance, being able to place him into custody.
What have police learned about Linthicum's motive to do all of this?
That would rest, I have no idea. That would rest with the initial call that the Baltimore County Police received, so I'd have to defer to the Baltimore County Police Department.
Has he said anything during negotiations or when he was apprehended?
He said he was speaking with some of our personnel, our SRT people who were in the woods there. He did have conversations with them, but it was nothing productive. It was nothing relevant to the case. When some of the flashbangs, I talked about that at the earlier press conference, when some of the flashbangs went off, he commented on how much he liked fireworks. So what he was saying wasn't pertinent to the actions that he has done, the terrible action he's committed.
I know that you said a medical exam is being done now. Can you just give some idea of what his condition was? I mean, he was on the run for almost 48 hours. What his condition was, and also any idea if drugs were involved?
No idea whether there's any kind of substance abuse or drugs involved. And his condition is fine. I mean, he obviously ran from the car through a wooded area full of briars. I understood. I did not see him coming out of the woods, but I understood he had shorts and a sweatshirt on. And he ran into a very rocky area. So, in addition to that, he did resist to a minor degree being placed in the handcuffs. So, out of an abundance of caution, they were having him checked out.
He said that he may have disposed of a long gun. Is the search for that continuing to that way?
We had reports that when he exited the vehicle, he had a long gun with him. When we arrested him, there was no gun on him or in that immediate area. So he did have ammunition on him. So we are concerned that perhaps there's a gun there. We have brought some dogs in. We're going to be thoroughly checking the area. Last thing we want to leave behind is a firearm. So if it's there, we're going to do our best to find it.
Maybe this would be more of a question for Baltimore County Police, but is there any way you guys could shed some more light on last night and kind of how he even got away from police? Because, initially it seemed like maybe you guys were closing in on him yesterday and then he got away.
Well, I think indeed, I do think that's a question for the Baltimore County Police, and I think I'm going to assume it's probably too early in the investigation to go into those kind of details. Anyone else?
The Baltimore County Police vehicle that the suspect took off with, do we know if that was the vehicle from the officer who was shot, or was it just...
Again, I believe it was, but that's going to be a question better posed to the Baltimore County Police.
I am curious about the condition of that vehicle as well, because I think I saw a tweet or something that he was at one point driving on the rim.
He was, and I was listening to the pursuit, so I heard that right from our radio system. He was, and I think we can credit a Baltimore County police officer who, as I heard it on the radio, was able to get stop sticks out in front of the vehicle and flatten his tires, and obviously bring the very dangerous part of any vehicle pursuit, bring that car part to an end in an area. And we were blessed by many things. We were blessed with the hour, not people out, and him, I'm assuming not familiar with the area, hunkered down instead of continued to run, let us get a good perimeter up.
So at one point when you first went to the Baltimore County House, you said there was a call of disturbance. What type of disturbance did anyone see?
That was the initial Baltimore County call 2 days ago, and again, not something that I'm going to speak to. I'm going to leave that to Baltimore County Police Department. And again, all of this, our actions over the last 8 hours, our involvement, and the Baltimore County Police with the injuring of the two officers, it's very early on in two very active investigations.
Just like a technical question, you said that 8-hour manhunt. Obviously, we know the manhunt in total was longer than that, but as far as him actually in Hartford County, that was about 8 hours.
Yes. Chrissy, anything else? Okay. Thank you very much.